Hello and welcome to season 2 of the Two Raccoons in a Trenchcoat podcast. I am your co-host for this week in this new season. Some guy with a microphone who is still wiping pixie stick off his lips. And joined, as always, by the one, the only.
Some guy with a hat, and you're probably thinking the same thing. It's a toss-up on who's going to die of high blood sugar first. We don't know.
One of us is medically required to take medicine. The other one is just flirting with death.
Well, we wouldn't have it any other way here on the Two Raccoons and Trenchcoat podcast. Welcome on back to another season. Thank you for joining us. I think we're going to try and start this one off with a bang. Do you want to get right into trivia?
I do, all right? Now, here's how trivia works. The host of this episode has 5 questions related to today's topic. I do not know them. You do not know them. Play along at home if you can. I will have 60 seconds after he reads the first question to answer all 5 of those questions. If I get all 5 right, I'm the winner. If I don't get them all right, well, then we don't have a winner, which historically we don't unless we have a guest.
Yep, that is the tricky thing. Let's say for every one you get right, you're allowed to have a pixie stick during the recording.
All right.
All right.
Mission motivation.
Some guy with the mic, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Let us begin. In what superhero comic book did this character make their first appearance?
I'm gonna go with I'm drawing a blank. Skip it. Go back to it later.
Which live-action depiction of this character is the only one who does not feature his insignia?
Bluey.
Who plays the antagonist in the 2004 film that stars Thomas Jane as the protagonist?
I don't know. Move along.
Other than his real name, what civilian name does this character also go by?
He goes by. Oh God. Okay. So Frank Castle is his real name, and he goes by. It's in season 1. Fuck. Move along.
All right, here's a fun one. We're out of time, by the way. What was the only Lego set that this character was included in as a minifigure?
You know what? As a minifigure set, he was part of Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse Special Edition.
All right, we're going to stop the clocks here at 1:25.
These are so hard.
All right. Do I have to ask how you think you did?
Dude, I got 0.
Yeah, you might be on a pixie stick deficit tonight. Question 1. In what superhero comic book did this character make their first appearance? You skipped. Would you like to take another crack at it?
Okay, I know he comes in as a vigilante. And I want to say it's with. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's not. Is it Iron Fist?
It is not.
No, it's not Iron Fist. It is. Oh God, but it's related to Iron Fist. It's the same dude. Not Iron Fist himself, but like the guy. He. All right, toss it to me.
Spider-Man.
Oh, I was wrong.
Yep. Specifically, he appears in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 129. Question 2. Which live-action depiction of this character is the only one who does not feature his insignia? You said Bluey. I would love to imagine Bluey the dog running through the streets of New York, just lighting people up.
Just blasting criminals.
No wonder why your fiance loves it so much. The answer is the first live-action depiction, Dolph Lundgren's version.
Okay, that makes sense.
Question 3. Who plays the antagonist in the 2004 film that stars Thomas Jane as the protagonist? You passed. It is John Travolta.
Oh, I could see his face in my mind.
Yeah, I also would have accepted Nicolas Cage. Other than
Good
his
guy.
real name, what civilian name does this character also go by? You pass again. The answer is Pete Castiglione.
Ah, it was Pete. I
Mm.
kept wanting to say Peter, but I knew Peter wasn't right.
Question number 5. What was the only Lego set that this character was included in? You said Mickey Mouse Clubhouse something or whatever.
Special edition.
Special edition. The answer is the 2021 Daily Bugle. So, a grand total of 0 out of 5, starting the season off spectacularly.
We're back to our roots, baby.
Who would you like to shout out as the attributing to your success tonight?
So, first off, I'd like to thank the Academy. I know recently that there were some Grammys that were given away. I was not a recipient, and neither was that one. Was it Haley something? Is
Haley
that who they were
Williams. Yep.
Yes, Haley Williams also got 0 Grammys, so I just like to let the Academy know that I had the same musical talent as Haley Williams, according to the Academy. According to the Academy, not my own specification, but if we're going by number of Grammys won this season, she and I are on the same level.
Hey, we know a couple people who listen to both your voice on this podcast and Haley Williams as an artist, so you're practically the same person.
There we go.
Please do not kill us, Megan.
Haley Williams, please forgive me. You'll never hear this podcast because I don't think this is your deal. I'm also closing the showroom door because there's something loud going on out there. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm back.
All right, so we are talking about The Punisher today in our season 2 premiere. Specifically, we're going over the live action versions. How much have you seen of the live action stuff?
I have seen Netflix's Punisher season 1 and season 2. I have seen one movie. It was a while ago. So let's say my strong recollections are season 1 and 2, and that's going to be about it.
Okay.
I wasn't big on the comics for Punisher, and because I felt he was more of a DC style character, which I wasn't really into growing up. And that's about it.
Yeah, like I haven't even been interested in checking out comics that he's in because he doesn't feel like like his story translates well to comics. Like it very much is. He's an emotional driven character, and his backstory is tragic, which you can depict that in comics, but it's really up to the actors to sell that emotion and that that tragedy there. So the first live action version, Frank Castle is played by Dolph Lundgren. It's definitely an 80s film. It's got some decent action set pieces, but it's not a Punisher film. Like, he doesn't even have his logo. I'd say it's worth a watch once. He does sort of team up with the antagonist of the film at the end because some rival gangs have kidnapped a ton of the other gang's children. So he teams up with the main antagonist. They go raid this building. And then they have a final showdown in the end because, of course, he betrays Frank. But the funniest thing is the guy's son watches Frank kill his dad. And Frank turns around to him and he's like, "You better not make any mistakes, or I know where you live," or something like that. He threatens a child, which is hilarious. But as I'm thinking about it, it's like, it's kind of still in character, like, because I don't think he like would actually threaten a kid, but like a scared straight kind of thing, which he did in season 1 of the Netflix show. So, moving on to the 2004 Thomas Jane film. That one, it's debatable if it's the best of the movies. I definitely think it's between the 2004 and Warzone depictions, but the 2004 film feels like a much more complete story because you get a little bit of the background when he was on the police force. You get to see his entire family get taken out, like not just his wife and kids, but his extended family. Every single person he is related to is wiped out in the film. Um,
Mhm.
then he comes back. He does a lot of like manipulation, which is surprising. He plays a lot of mind games on John Travolta. He makes him think that his wife is cheating on him or going behind his back, um, just creating a lot of uh, distrust and chaos behind the scenes to make it easier for him to go in and take everyone out. A lot more emphasis on the characters. Like you see that whole apartment setup where he's there, and then you have his three neighbors who become like a second family almost. It's pretty good. It's got some good action. I think still the biggest draw to that film is um, the connections between the characters for that one. Then we have the final film, Punisher Warzone, starring Ray Stevenson. It's probably, I would say it's the most comic book accurate depiction of the Punisher. Um, he's very no nonsense, gruff, like he's there to take names and nothing else. Um, he ends up accidentally killing an undercover cop, and that makes him kind of question everything he's been doing. But then the cop's widow is under um, surveillance from the mob because they think she has all of the cops' money. It's a whole thing. So he has to then save the um, widow and their daughter. Um, I'm really conflicted about this one because the action's good, the characterization of the Punisher is good, but the villains are really wacky. Like just how they're played, it's like way too comical, and it doesn't vibe with the rest of the tone. But I mean, it is worth putting up with that to see the rest of the film, in my opinion. But yeah, those are the movie depictions. It's probably as much as we're gonna talk about those because like they exist, they have
Mhm.
varying degrees of quality to them, but the most screen time here is with the Netflix stuff.
Right.
So why don't you take this and tell me what you like about the Netflix version
Mhm.
of The Punisher, played by John Bernthal?
So first off, John Berthal, major selling point.
Mm-hmm.
He also little known movie called The Accountant and The Accountant 2, The
Mm-hmm.
Reaccounting. He is those. Um, so
He also
let's
plays
start
a
with
very minor character in some random horror show that premiered in 2010. You know, nothing too big.
yeah, I don't recall what he was honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, season one. Um, again, like you were saying with the emotional impact on screen is I feel much better sold, as you said, than in comics. Not that comics can't do a good job, but I think this one benefits more from the acting as opposed to one's interpretation of type and picture. Um, right off the bat, so a lot of Marvel series.
Hello, Jack.
One moment, I have to go open the door. Excuse you. You can come in, but I gotta close the door. It's the furnace is going, but you better lay down somewhere. You better find a spot, get comfortable.
Jack is like,
He's a.
let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
You know what I think?
Uh, So, from season one, off the bat, I think a lot of problems that a lot of, especially Marvel, shows and movies suffer from, especially anything that's come out on Disney Plus recently, is, and I'm gonna use Iron Fist as an example. I love to kick Iron Fist in the balls. It's Iron Fist is so boring to start out with. It's so boring. It takes about 5 episodes to get mildly interesting. The Punisher is good from the drop.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the Punisher, unlike other Marvel properties, it's good from the get-go. From the first episode of season one, so they don't do the annoying thing where they backload you with 5 hours worth of setup before they actually get you going.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they do a really good job of weaving in the story of Punisher because, again, I feel this is one of those series that, like, you should loosely know who the Punisher is,
Right.
but they weave his backstory in with the action scenes so flawlessly that not only do you get, Doom Guy 2016 like punching the screen and like leveling people's, heads with a double barrel shotgun, but also you get to see why we care about who Frank Castle is, why he does what he does. Um it also does something that I feel, this is going to get a little personal. Um you know how every person who's ever cut you off in traffic ever that's driving a truck has a Punisher logo in their back windshield?
I'm familiar with the concept, yes.
I feel that they missed. I feel like everybody who carries a Punisher logo missed the forest for the trees
Absolutely.
so strongly. It's like the
Absolutely.
Punisher. Yeah, he punishes people. Yeah, he also, like, he was part of a military operation that was unsanctioned and murdered a lot of people they weren't allowed to do. So,
Yeah, I
it,
think if you want to have like a Punisher tattoo or put a Punisher insignia on your car, you have to prove that your wife and children have been murdered, right? I think that should be the basis for it.
it's the prerequisite.
Yep.
And you can't be the one who did it.
Yeah, that's also pretty important. Like, you have to be innocent in this situation.
It's just one of those things where um I feel it's a cultural icon. I think people like gravitated toward it for some reason, like way before it got like mainstream. They're like, yeah, the Punisher, because he punishes. Yeah, he punishes dickbags
Mm-hmm.
like you. I'm sorry. There's a 75 or better percent chance that if you unironically carry around a Punisher logo, you would have been punished. You probably do or say things that he would level you for.
Yeah, I'm fine with that statistic.
I don't own any Punisher stuff. I like the Punisher. I like playing the Punisher in Marvel Rivals because it's like playing Call of Duty. Um,
I have the
he's
Punisher
gonna
minifigure.
you get you get to shoot the ladies. Um, don't take that out of context. Um,
Spoiler alert, that's the only thing from this episode that's going in the short reel.
but yes, I feel like it. Season one does a very good job of grabbing your attention and keeping you focused. Kind of like jingling keys in front of a baby. Like, okay, here's a gunfight. Okay, here's some backstory. Here's another gunfight. Okay, now here's why he's angry. Here's another gunfight. Here's some character development. Here's another gunfight. They go
Mm-hmm.
back and forth, which is really good because you don't know you're learning. It's like watching Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah. Have you seen the Daredevil Netflix show?
No,
So you haven't seen his introduction to the MCU then.
no.
Half of Daredevil season 2 is um devoted to introducing Frank as a character and the Punisher. Um, and everything you said about season 1 of the Punisher is exactly how I feel about season 2 of Daredevil and the Punisher show. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's introduced as this, like, initially everyone thinks like a militia is in town because these gangs get absolutely annihilated. But it turns out it's this one guy on a vendetta against whoever and whatever took out his family. Um, and there's a lot of expedition that happens with like um, in the courtroom side, and Karen going in on the news reporter side and finding out more details. And again, through the action scenes, you find stuff out as well. It is his stuff is the best part of that second season of Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Punisher show first before watching Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
And even though like the Daredevil focuses on that main story of what happened to his family, more is, and it's kind of resolved a little bit, more is found out in the actual show to where it warrants opening this box back up to see a much more evolved and immersive storyline that purely focuses on his quest.
Mm-hmm.
But with him being introduced in Daredevil, it's funny because aside from like Batman in DC, Daredevil I think is the only one of the only Marvel characters that are very strictly like, I do not kill. Like no matter what I do, I will not kill. So there's an excellent scene in one of their first times actually talking to each other. Um, Frank has Daredevil tied up in chains on a chimney on a roof to where they can just like talk because Daredevil keeps getting in Frank's way. Frank doesn't want to kill Daredevil, but he's like, you got to stop getting in my way. So they have like their different ideologies clash almost perfectly because there's an excellent point there. Like Frank is the final decision for these people. Like he takes any possibility away from them to either reform or repent. He ends it. But at the same time, and this argument is made about Batman as well, like he puts these people in jail and they're back out on the streets in a matter of no time, pretty much, to keep on continuing to do harm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a whole thing of like who is right, and I don't think it's a black and white. It's a both and. Um, but yeah, it's fascinating how they got that right in like their first or second Netflix show that they did.
It's really also very interesting to see, especially Marvel, who is very typically a more haha giggle giggle like Daredevil. I like Daredevil's comics, where you've seen the iconic one where Daredevil, who is spoiler alert, he's blind.
What?
Yeah, he's blind. So a bunch of guys break into his house wearing night vision goggles to assassinate him.
I know.
And he goes, "Oh no, several men with guns and night vision goggles on. Whatever will I do?" And he flicks on the light so he blinds everybody. Again, kind of a silly haha style of medium going with this. Hey, there is no right answer here. It is all going to be gray, and it's more about where you stand morally, who you agree with, and to what extent. Which is a really amazing way to write something so. I don't want to say that like a Netflix series is inconsequential, but it's not. You would expect something like this to be more cinema related. Like, oh, there's a big movie where we're gonna have these two like almost like Batman v Superman, but good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's funny because the Netflix stuff, like, it still had a little bit of jokes, but it was very like subdued humor. Like it wasn't over the top quips or long drawn out sequences where there's a definite punchline at the end. Um, they're also a lot more violent. So I don't know if you remember, but back when the Netflix original Marvel stuff was taken off of Netflix and booted over to Disney Plus, that's when Disney Plus introduced the like content filter on there to where like if you set it up a certain way, if you're under an age, like you couldn't watch some of the stuff on there. And of course, Punisher, Daredevil, all that stuff was under that blanket.
Hmm.
Have you seen Daredevil Born Again?
No.
Okay. So, like, I don't want to spoil things for you because, like, there are some pretty good episodes in that show, but because of all the rewrites and everything they had to do, most of the show had to work around the previous structure, so it wasn't as good as it ended. Um, but The Punisher does have some really, really intense and impactful scenes. Not a lot of emotional stuff like that deals with his family, but the way he is shot and filmed and depicted, it is almost frightening. Like, to get into spoilers, even though season one came out last year, they're coming out with season two in a couple months. Um, the fight scene, one of the fight scenes in the final episode, everything is regular, but whenever he is on screen, all of his actions take place in slow motion, just to really revel and get the fear and the intensity of his actions and every single punch or stab or incredibly gruesome thing that he is doing to these corrupt police officers. You feel all of that, and it is one of the best fight sequences I have seen in a Marvel show or movie in a long time. Is there any scene, action sequence, or acting bit that really stands out to you that either really defines what this character is or how much John Bernthal can perfectly play this character?
I can think of two, and they're probably pretty uh, highly regarded anyway. One, the carousel fight scene,
Mm-hmm.
and two, the scene where he brutally beats his old commanding officer to death.
Yeah,
Doesn't use a gun, doesn't use a knife, just beats him wholeheartedly with his fists.
yeah. That scene is great on its
It's
own.
drawn out too.
It is. And to me, the best part about that is the score that they use.
Yes,
I think
yes,
it's
yes,
called
yes.
Frank's Choice. And the entire time, the setup for this is he's finally captured by, they call him Agent Orange, this government op guy, um, and Billy Russo, his ex best friend, have captured him in his hideout, and he's tied up, and they're gonna kill him. They beat him up. He's fading in and out of consciousness. He's talking with his wife, um, getting ready to move on and see her again, um, along with getting dragged back into reality by getting like punched. I think he's dosed with adrenaline, so he stays awake. Um, and at the very end, he makes his choice like, no, like, I have to keep living. And that's when he fully breaks free and finishes it.
Also the scene, and spoilers ahead. Um, when he does end up killing Russo,
Oh my God, that was just,
I honestly, because that's season two,
yep,
um, when I saw it, I was like, ah, comic wise, I think Russo dies elsewhere. Um, but just it's just like the whole arc of Russo having lost his memories at the start of season two and not knowing what happened and being so confused and heartbroken that he and Frank are like trying to kill each other.
mm-hmm.
And then kind of coming full circle to like, ah, I know what I did. I know what we did was wrong. And like, he's just suffering. And you can tell that, like, and Bernthal does a fantastic job here of that. Everything personally about, because again, we saw he let Russo go earlier in the season.
Yep.
Um, so we know he's capable of making that choice and he would want to make that choice, but he kind of like clicks into his like this is the last part of the Punisher that's going to remain. If I get rid of him, we will be done here. And he just kind of like finishes it off, which I feel is a really good character moment and one you almost don't see coming because of the earlier iterations we've seen.
Yeah, I thought that it was a bit backtracking because his whole thing in season 1, he didn't kill Russo. But now at the end he's like, yeah, whatever. I maybe it works as a mercy killing. Also, I like your idea that Billy is this last part of the Punisher that if he gets rid of him, he can move on.
Because all Frank wants to do is be done with the Punisher. He came out of retirement for the girl's sake.
Yep.
And now he wants to be done and have it be over with. And this, I think it's one of those things where if Russo's alive, it's gonna happen again. There's gonna be more coming back around. So he has to put an end to it so he can move on. So everybody alive gets to have their ending, whether it's happy or not.
But at the same time, the last scene of season 2, he's in some random drug hideout shooting them all up after he gets off the phone with Madani.
Yep.
So I don't know. Season 2 is a really big mixed bag for me. I think it tried to do too many different plot points.
Did season 2 have like 5 different directors?
I don't know, but it would not surprise me. Because you had like the just so many different plot points that they cut one of them out because they aren't even fully. No, they're not connected at all. Russo's plotline and the girl's plotline never intersect.
Nope. That's why I was hoping. I get why they end Punisher season 2 with, him fully donning the Punisher. I thought personally when he killed Russo, I was like, this is Frank's retirement. This is because again, it's not unheard of for Marvel to do like alternate decisions with their works. And I was like, because again, we were told during season 2 there would not be a season 3.
Oh, I watched it all years after the fact, so I
gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was early on decided that they wouldn't do a season 3.
Yeah, it was talked about and rumored. Oh, there's going to be a Punisher season 3, and I think it was Netflix who said no, we're not doing it. So they scrapped the project, and they were like, all right, this is how it's going to end. So my headcanon was that he kills Russo. He is done. This is like the good ending for Frank Castle. Or I thought he would kill Russo, and then like there would be like the Punisher's always in the wings and like does things only when necessary. But no, he's wanton like killing spree at the end of 2.
Yeah.
So again, like you said, major tone shift.
Yeah, I think when he kills Russo, he's giving up the part of him that is wanting to rest. Like I think it's the exact opposite of how you thought it was going to be. Instead of putting down the Punisher, he's like, no, like I'm fully committing to this. But yeah, like the entire time. So Daredevil Born Again was rumored for a long time, and initially it had a release date of like 2024, but then it got pushed back to 2025 because they had to redo almost the entire show. Because the initial gist of it, from what I understand, is like not upbeat, but a lot more like modern Disney Plus show, villain of the week, like not a whole ton of stakes. But then I think the one episode that was either completely untouched or only a little bit of work on it was done was the bank episode, because that feels like a completely different episode to the rest of the show. It's a bottle episode. It sort of connects very loosely, but it just felt like a different thing entirely. So there were rumors of, is John Bernthal going to come back or not? And for the longest time, it's like, yeah, he is. And there's like, no, he's not. And then I think IGN was like, yep, he's going to be back. And then again, they're like, actually, we don't know. But he finally returned officially to the MCU. in that show, and it was his first appearance. I don't think was it was very brief, and it just kind of reestablished where these two people's relationship was between Matt and Frank. But his second appearance in the show, which I talked about earlier, is some of his best stuff. Now, we've talked a lot about what he does. What we haven't discussed is his physicality.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to see how much he gets injured. Like, he gets shot constantly, like
Yep.
beat up, cut up, and yet he's pushing through it, or he's down for like a day and then he gets right back up. Do you think he's a mutant?
So, I actually do believe he's a mutant, but here's the thing. I don't think he's a first-gen mutant.
Okay, explain.
So, there is a theory, I don't know if it's actually canon or not, that you have first-gen mutants who may have had powers that never awakened and they had kids, and those become second-gen, and they don't have deeply manifested powers. I want to say a comic explored this, but it might be a Marvel What If. Because I've had this thing for a long time, and other people have also said it, so it's not my headcanon alone. It is other people's work as well that I also believe in. Um, that essentially Frank Castle's one of his parents may have been a first gen mutant who powers either didn't awaken or they were so subtle it didn't make a difference. And then Frank Castle just has, I wouldn't say Wolverine levels of healing factor, but he's got some kind of healing factor. Because in almost every piece of media he's in, he bounces back super quick.
Yeah. Like in the 2004 Thomas Jane version, he gets shot up and he's like drifting in the open ocean or something for a while before someone finds him. In Netflix, he's always, I think it twice, one in each season, he has to get stitched up, go to the hospital or something, and everyone's like, "No, you need to lie low," and he's like, "No, I gotta finish this," and he just gets up. And I think it was the first Deadpool movie where they established like if you have like dormant mutant genes, like
Mm-hmm.
trauma can awaken them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what we know about Frank Castle, he was shot in the head,
Yep.
survived on the same day his family was murdered. I
Mm-hmm.
would consider that to be traumatic.
Mildly.
Yeah.
I mean, who
So,
hasn't gone through that though?
yeah, I mean, look, if you haven't done that, are you really a teenager? Come on. But yeah, like maybe not, again, like you said, not like Wolverine levels of healing, but there's got to be some level of like decrease or increased pain tolerance, faster healing,
Mm-hmm.
because this guy is a machine. Like, talk about unrealistic beauty standards for men, right? He's
Right?
unstoppable. Like, him versus John Wick, I don't know. My money's on the Punisher, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. How many gold coins does John Wick have to spend?
Let's say it's during John Wick 2 where he's back in it.
I'm still gonna give it to the Punisher.
Yep.
It's gonna be one. It's gonna be a 2-hour film and it's all fight scene.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really good, but I think the Punisher wins out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like on one hand, it is great to think like, oh yeah, this is just some regular guy who's like really tough and can tough out all this pain. But it's I realize we're talking about comic book stuff here, but it's just too unrealistic to say that he's just a regular guy. Like, I still like to consider that he's just a regular guy, but deep down I think like he has to have something else going on.
Yeah, 100%.
So Daredevil Born Again season 1 ended, and there more than rumors, there's supposed to be a Punisher special released on Disney Plus
Mhm.
at some point. I haven't heard any updates on that, if it's still coming out, because Disney is notorious for canceling Disney Plus shows like Armor Wars. Disney, give me Don Cheadle in Armor Wars. Come on. Let me look that up right now, though.
Don Cheadle. We stand Don Cheadle.
Oh, it's upcoming. It's not canceled, but it's co-written by John Bernthal.
Oh,
That's gonna be great.
that's gonna be sick.
This special is set to be released in mid-2026 as part of Phase 6 of the MCU.
All right, I can dig
Interesting.
that.
Oh, is that Curtis? So Google says the cast, the only two cast members is John Bernthal and whoever played Curtis in the Punisher Netflix show.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, he was great in it. It's good that he's back. I'm not sure how he's gonna fit into anything, but I don't know. I'm never gonna say God damn, can I talk? I'm never gonna say no to more John Bernthal in anything.
I would watch him make a remake of Kindergarten Cop.
He's actually started to be in a lot of stuff. He was in that Rami Malek movie, and Lawrence Fishburne were in it, and it was a recent film. He's also in some new Netflix show. Like, God, let me look it up. Like, and it's some of it I don't think, because he's not 100% typecast, but he's usually cast as the tough military guy in lots of things. But he is able to do other stuff, and it's great seeing him in anything, because he is one person that completely understands the assignment with whatever he acts in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't want to say it's rare that happens now, but it always feels like you always feel like this character is 100% genuine because of how amazing he is at acting.
Yes. I feel, again, I think any actor can be great, but I feel few actors can be great in anything they're handed.
Mm-hmm.
I also think he does a very good job at picking roles and saying yes to roles that he knows he can do with excellence. He's not like, just give me everything. I'm a big name, so I can get all this money, and it doesn't matter if I'm good or bad. If the movie's crap, it's fine. He picks works that he's going to be good in because he knows what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else you want to bring up or mention about any of the Punishers?
We've pretty much covered everything of my extensive knowledge of the topic. No, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, a bit of a shorter one this episode, but we're getting back in the swing of things for this second season. Oh, you want to know something funny that I kind of figured out a day or two ago?
I sure do.
So I was going to title this episode Bang, because the Punisher's first introduction to the MCU was in an episode titled Bang. This is our first episode of the second season. He is introduced in the first episode of the second season of Daredevil. So,
you know what? There you go.
But also,
can you guess what the episode's going to be titled?
Bang. But the episode, how we title our episode, is going to read Bang the Punisher. So,
yes.
It's really important that we have those hyphens in the titles.
Your Honor, would.
But would he? No. I don't
Shotgun, absolutely.
Yeah.
He would level my sorry ass in 0.05 seconds.
All right. With that, I think that's all we have to cover for today's episode of the Two Raccoons in a Trenchcoat podcast. thank you all for listening. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down in the comments. You can also reach out to us at email at tworaccoonspodcast@gmail.com. That's 2 C's, 2 O's, no spaces. I'm surprised I remembered that whole thing, but
Great job.
I think I gave the right email.
From my understanding, yes.
Perfect. Well, if your email comes back as not received due to incorrect email address, feel free to hunt us down in person.
You can find us at
4815 Oceanic Drive.
Any personal things you need to plug, host?
Ooh, personal things. Yeah, I'm part of this podcast, actually.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about it.
I can't. It's completely confidential.
I get it.
But we are called Two Raccoons and Trenchcoat Podcast. I can tell you that. I can tell you that we...
I was gonna make a redacted joke.
Oh, yeah, go... Oh. No, we're not on the list.
No, I was gonna say, I said, well, you can't be on that list. You just are part of the redacted podcast.
And look, Your Honor, even if we were, our names aren't black Sharpie marks. All right?
Yeah, that means we're victims. They only release the victim names.
Yeah, it either means
so
we're
horrible.
victims or politicians. So.
And I'm broke, so I'm not the politician. So yeah, okay. You're on a podcast. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Let me make another redacted joke. Let's get the Punisher to Congress. Am I right?
Like, run for Congress? No.
No. I cut that.
We're just gonna put him in there and close the door.
I had to cut out that first version of that joke in an episode in season 1. But I think it fits here. I think it's not as direct.
Okay, Punisher, season 3. Fades open. The Punisher, Frank Castle, is handed an unedited document of the Epstein files.
Your Honor,
and told to go to work.
Your Honor, let me tell you something. I think this congressman, and you know what? Just an hour of John Bernthal just ad-libbing it in a courtroom setting, I'd watch it.
I would. I watched this man paint for 2 hours and not say anything.
Yep.
But in other news, I'm a PNG tuber now. You can find me at some guy with a mic on Twitch. I'm double checking that right now.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
I'm pretty sure I'm some guy with a mic, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Good God, that's loud. Yes, some guy with a mic on Twitch. Come check me out. I'm starting to stream more. I stream at odd times, so make sure to leave a follow because you're gonna get notifications at like 2 a.m. on Tuesdays. Like, what is he doing? And it's me playing Hearthstone.
Any other games besides Hearthstone that you play?
So right now I am dibbly dabbling with the idea of playing a couple of different games for stream. I am going to be doing some good news streams where I just play like happy games like Stardew Valley and Card Shop Simulator, and just I speak in a low, calm voice, and we talk about like good news and positive vibes. Simply because I have had requests to make stuff people can fall asleep to.
All right, today, chat, the Epstein files have been updated again. So for that reason, we are going to play Stardew Valley, and we are immediately going to pay our friend Pierre a visit for no reason whatsoever. But first,
call him Perry.
Let me pick up my upgraded axe from Clint's for my visit with Pierre for no reason whatsoever. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for listening. Reach out to us if you feel like it, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Take care.